Hello. Um, my name is Pinky, and I'm going to be showing you how I make redefined lalafell conversions using 3ds Max. So it might be a little different than in Blender, but hopefully this guide will still be of some use. So for my guide, I will be using the Extreme Survival shirt. Let me just, okay. First thing you're going to want to do is just hide the full model from the Redefined Laravel dev kit, which you can download in the Fruit Basket Discord if you haven't already. It's very helpful. But the full model we do not need right now. Okay, second is the skin from the Extreme Survival shirt. We don't need it, obviously, because we're replacing it, so you can delete that as well. And then next is we take the chest, we go to Edit Mesh, select Element, and select it all at once. And then we go back to Polygon. And this part is a little boring. It's how I like to make the conversions. It is time consuming depending on how much skin is showing, but I don't know. There's too many verts. There's way too many damn verts. So I prefer doing polygons. And what I do is basically just unselect all of the polygons that are showing. And you can see why this gets a little time consuming because, if there's a lot of skin, then you're going to be clicking a lot. But that's okay. It is extremely easy to do, so you do not have to worry about spending hours and hours getting frustrated. You just spend hours clicking the same button over and over again, which is so cool. That's pretty much all you do. I wish I was good at editing videos, because if I was, I would speed through this part, because it is so goddamn boring. But we are stuck here in this awkward moment of me doing this and you being forced to watch. I apologize. I believe Blender probably has something similar to this. I'm not sure how it looks, but I will be asking my Blender friends after this video, and I will add it to wherever I decide to post this. If you hear me breathing, I apologize. Okay, and then we do make sure all that shit's gone. Very cool. I always like to give it an extra, even if the skin will be underneath the shirt, I kind of like to add this just in case, for holes. Don't really have to go that crazy though. Okay. Okay, and then Okay, so we'll just give it one more. Make sure there's no like red showing. That's not what we want. All right. All right. And then we can just go ahead and delete all that. Now, as you can see, there are some skin parts still showing. That's totally fine. Do not try to squish the skin in. I've tried I've tried that, and it normally just leads to weight issues or things exploding. I find body meshes to be very finicky, so instead, what we're going to do is we're going to edit the extreme survival. Make sure you select both parts of the mesh because if you edit like one part, it won't affect the other part, and you will just cause like holes or clipping or whatever. Like, it's annoying. So this way is safer. So you're going to edit the vertex of this, not the polygons. Vertex. And this part is really up to you how you want to hide the skin. I'm just going to show you a very basic way. So that is, I use soft selection. I bring it down like as much as I can, and then I scale it. I don't think you can see that I just hit the scale button, but I did. And then just very, very slowly just pull that out until the skin is gone. Yay. And do it to the other arm as well. I know Blender has like an X-ray thing, so that doesn't happen where you're just selecting like all over the mesh. I don't think 3ds does. It's not as technologically advanced. But you know, shit happens. Okay, so I will show you a tip that I like to use. So what I do is hide here. Not all meshes will have this, and if it doesn't, I'll show you like another trick. Um, but you see here, there's kind of like this inner part of the mesh. So we're gonna unselect soft selection and just select, whoopsie, select all of the verts here that are inside of it. And just make sure we didn't select anything else. Okay, and then if you scale it in like this, it creates this kind of, I want to say barrier, so that you can't see that there's actually no skin inside the shirt because our chest only has a little bit of skin showing. And it will just cover that up pretty nicely. And we'll do it to both sides. Okay, and pull that in, and it's covered. If the mesh like doesn't have that part, sometimes it doesn't, you know, let's say you're making like a t-shirt out of a long sleeve, it won't have that part. What you can do, and this is what I do, is this. So clone the mesh first. First things first, clone the mesh because you're gonna need that, and then you're gonna edit it. Mine is gonna look a little bit weird just because the part is already there, but you're gonna select everything here like this, and you're gonna scale it in just like you were doing before, and then oh my god, I'm losing my voice. You're going to hit weld, select it, and it'll create this kind of fill for you. And then you just move it so that it's like right against, and just play around with it so that it looks, it's not perfect. You can see there's obviously like lines here. It's not really that perfect, but I've also found that nobody really notices. So it's okay, I guess. But yeah, that's just a quirky little trick I found. So hopefully that will help. Um, okay, so we're all done with the mashup. So we will take the parts from Redefine Lalafell, and we're just going to slap that into group 1. And, whoopsie, not delete, rename. Rename so that it's, you know, in the right group numbers. Rename. Okay. And then you select everything. Export selected. Export it to the extreme survival shirt. Oh, whoopsie. Did I forget? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm an idiot. The skin has to be on top in order for any changes to work. Okay. And we open up text tools.
Alright, so in text tools, we're going to hit import and open editor. You can leave all that stuff alone. And for group 0, since it's using the extreme survival shirt, you can just leave that alone. But for group 1, or whatever group you put your skin into, you'll have to change the texture to custom, and then change the 0 right there to a 1, and the A to a B. This is because Redefine Lalafell uses like its own unique textures, and that can't be assigned like just automatically. It has to be assigned manually. So once that's done, it will change the textures, and then here on the parts, you will want to make sure all of the attributes are the same. So we got elbows and elbow, wrist and wrist, and neck and neck. If the attributes are wrong, or if they're not there, or you can just manually add them in again. So like let's say you're importing and the elbows have the wrist attribute, just hit remove and add the correct one from the drop down for all of them. Redefine Lalafell is nice because the groups are, or the parts are labeled. And then you can just hit import. And once that's done, give it a sec to load. Cool. You're not going to notice a difference on my end because I'm just using like the default Redefine Lalafell skin in text tools. So you're not going to see the symmetry on mine, or the asymmetry, sorry. But it's there. And then after this, you just, test it in the game, make sure there's no clipping where there was before. I recommend just doing like vanilla emotes for testing because the animations and even custom poses can kind of go outside the limits of what vanilla can, and you can't really control that as much. So instead of just worrying about it, just focus on vanilla emotes. If it looks good in vanilla, everyone else can suffer. Doesn't matter. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully, the video helped you. If it didn't, and you just wasted however many minutes of your life, I apologize. I'm very sorry for that. Feel free to join our Discord and ask for help where you need it. We have a lot of like talented people that will be able to help you along. If you're trying to use Blender and you're confused on my 3DS terminology, there's someone out there in our Discord who will gladly assist you. Um, not me, because I don't use Blender, but there's someone else. There's someone else out there. Someone else will help you. Yeah. So thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, I will try to do more. If you hated this video, I will still try to do more. Thank you, and goodbye.